So what is the one thing you should do if you can only do one thing to improve the performance of your sales force? Focus on value. Sales is complex, and in fact it's increasingly complex, particularly in business-to-business markets, where there are multiple people, processes, perspectives and priorities that you need to understand and manage before you can even try to start to sell your point of view and your solution. Now, there are multiple methodologies, processes, process solutions, training companies that can help you do this better. But the problem is that at the end of the day, they often add up adding more complexity to a very complex process. And therefore, it's not surprising that in reality, the adoption rates and the results are generally poor. Let's take one example which always makes me laugh about a company I know who spent £20,000 on a 3-day training course for 4 of their senior partners / salespeople to help them sell more effectively. Now, this covered multiple areas such as influencing skills, body language, negotiation, how to identify different personalities and how to deal with those personalities, how to build a business case, etc., etc. Now, firstly, to me, a lot of this material was out of date, looking at how you can influence people rather than how you can understand need and develop a compelling value proposition. But secondly, like most of these type of training materials, it was just far too complex, and therefore the chance of being able to apply it in any real sales situation were probably 0 to none. Now, I confirm this view after speaking with some of the partners who received the training and really found it of no value. By the time they'd have walked into the sales meeting and tried to read all the body language, the personality types of the different customers, they'd have probably forgotten why they were in the meeting in the first place. They maybe have looked slightly odd, and they'd have certainly forgotten the next 20 structured questions that they were supposed to deliver so they could build their business case. Now, the world is obsessed with simplification at the moment. Why? Because it gets better results than complex. Because it increases the chances of your people changing behaviour through easier to interpret and understand objectives and direction. So how can this be done in a complex selling situation? Well, it can be done through focusing on value, getting your salespeople to understand, focus on identifying, articulating and delivering value, and then continually reinforcing that their role is to identify value creating opportunities for customers. Note, it's not saying that their role is to hit their targets and make lots of money for your company. It's about putting the customer first. So why is a focus on value so important? Well, if your salespeople truly understand value, it forces them to develop a deeper understanding of customers, to ask more questions, to identify and understand processes, problems, priorities, and the customer's perception. Because they appreciate that value is based on the customer's perception, not their own. And secondly, it will force them to develop a deeper awareness of competitors, because they understand that value can only be taken in the context of competitive offerings. And armed with this insider knowledge, they then be in a better position to clearly articulate and demonstrate why you have a superior offering compared to competitors, and to demonstrate any differentiated value that you can bring to the sale. And this process of developing a deeper understanding and a more analytical approach to selling will also help them become more creative and drive innovation in your value proposition that can feed back into your own organisation to help you with product, service and solution innovation. And that's really, in the 21st century, the key to sustaining business success. Those who can differentiate, who can innovate and show clear differentiated value can claim a higher price, avoid commoditization and ultimately deliver superior profits.